Flipping a coin, really? As I said, if you have any better ideas, Foster, I'm open. Foster looked down at the ground for a moment, thinking things over. So you're sure you're not going to get all psycho killer on me, are you? Like, if you're in love with me. Like, if I turn you down, you're not going to get all jealous boyfriend and start killing anyone I like, right? No, that would be an absurd waste of my time. And I don't know very much about being in love with someone, but I think I'm a bit far too calculating to be the jealous type. Jealousy is also a waste of time. It serves no purpose. If someone doesn't like you, they simply don't like you, regardless of whether you like them or not. Attempting to force it will do no good. I can't imagine myself falling into that type of category. I really just want this all to be over, Foster said. Fine. We can flip the coin. Heads, we go through with it, and tails, we find a different method. I just hope if it comes up heads, that my head stays intact. Stop being so self-concerned, Hamilton replied, as he took a coin out of his pocket and handed it in Foster's direction. You go ahead and flip it. What? Foster replied. Why me? Why can't you flip the coin? I mean, that's a lot of pressure. Well, I would flip it, but, well, I'm far too skilled. I honestly don't trust myself not to cheat, and then try to convince myself otherwise. Fine, Foster said as she grabbed the coin. Heads, we go through with it, she said, as she placed the coin on the tip of her thumb, giving it a firm flip into the air, spinning it rapidly as it twirled about, going on an upward arc, before beginning to descend back down towards them. Foster rapidly caught the coin with one hand, slapping it to the back of her other one. To be honest, she didn't know which she was rooting for, heads or tails. But, regardless of what she felt, as she removed her hand, looking at the coin sitting atop the back of her left hand, the result was clear. Heads. They would take the deal. Oh, I was afraid of that. Well, afraid or not, that's what the coin says, so that's what we're going to do. Are you sure we can't do like a 2 out of 3? No, flipping the coin more than once would only give us more options to try to cheat our way out of it. The coin said heads, so let's just do this and get it over with. Remember, your emotions are still going to be fine. I'm the one who's getting tampered with. Because she likes you, Hamilton said, rolling his eyes as he turned back around and started heading back towards the woman, still rocking in that massive chair. Foster hesitantly pocketed the coin and followed suit. Okay, we'll take the deal, but only if you can guarantee that will be taken directly to the individual in question, Hamilton said, looking up at the hag. Oh, well, yes. That much I can do. Good. So, I surmise that you might need something of his, or perhaps some information. No, that will not be required, she replied as she leaned forward in her chair. The lines and threads of destiny are quite clear. They will tell me the direction that you seek to travel. All I'm doing is simply rearranging them a bit. And in doing so, you will find that your location has changed as well. You will be in the place that you seek. quite nearby the person you look for. And in the process, I will have rearranged the threads for your memory and for your heart. You will not remember the deal as it has been stated. To you, everything will seem just as normal as it was before you entered. You will assume the deal went to order and that nothing about you has changed. All of the work will be done simultaneously. So you needn't worry about any painful magical processes. I assure you, you won't feel a thing. Fair enough, Hamilton replied. So, let's get this show on the way. The prince isn't going to find himself. Good. Just stand still, and you'll be in the place that you seek before you know it, the hag said, as she began to raise her long, extended arms upward, reaching towards the ceiling, still seated comfortably within her chair, her long, gangly fingers beginning to flinch and twitch ever so slightly as golden waves of energy began to flow between her fingers, swirling out into the air above Foster and Hamilton. As this golden energy began to swirl, growing larger and larger as time passed, something else started to become visible. Threads. Countless different threads of different sizes and color, all of them glowing somewhat, but each of them having their own unique glow. Some far more intense than others, while some were very dull and thin, and there were countless of them, hundreds, stemming from both Foster and Hamilton, beginning to stretch upward towards this golden swirl of energy afloat in the room. A deal has been made, and a deal has been sealed, she said, peering into the golden light above. But one of my guests won't know it's real. A forgetful mind shall pass him by, will not remember the reason why. His heart now pulls him towards her eyes, to a destination that they do not know, in search of someone, friend or foe. Let them now walk their path, along the threads through the looking glass, she said, as the golden light intensified even further. And then, all at once, massive waves of the golden light began to flow down onto Foster and Hamilton, falling from the golden aura, floating in the room like a waterfall, glowing so bright that it was blinding, phasing everything out, so much so that they had to close their eyes, wincing in pain, feeling a warmth flow over them like a warm breeze on a sunny beach. And as the breeze faded and they felt the light beginning to dim, they opened their eyes to find themselves in what looked to be some sort of clearing, surrounded on all sides by forest. There were trees everywhere, but as Hamilton looked around, the clearing itself didn't appear natural. The earth and dirt around him looked as if it had been turned, forced over, torn apart, and then resettled. Where the hell is this? Hamilton said, looking around. With the amount of money that we paid that witch, she better have sent us to the right place, he said as he peered about. Foster immediately turning his direction to acknowledge his statement. The first thought to her head being, we didn't pay her any money. Why is he saying that? She thought to herself as she remembered. The hag said that once they transported to where they were going, Hamilton wouldn't remember the deal. At least not as it actually was. It had already happened. Just like that. Hamilton had forgotten the deal. Did that mean that the other thing that the hag said would come true as well? Was Hamilton already in love with her?